On meeting together on the Commission of Wildlife Fisheries and Parks, February 19, 2026. I want to welcome everyone that's here today with us physically, and welcome everyone that's watching online. Mr. Posey, is there any special guests we have here today?
Well, we just say everybody's special again today, Mr. Chairman. How about that?
There you go. I agree totally with that. All right, moving on. Russ, I'm going to ask you today to do our opening prayer.
Pray with me. Father God, we thank you for the day and the blessings that you give us, God, for the opportunity to be here today to conduct the business, the stewardship of your resources. God, we thank you for those that have gathered here. God, those that could not be here, God, we ask you just give them traveling mercy and grace wherever they are. God, those that may be sick, we ask you just put your healing hands upon them. God, we ask as we make decisions today, you would give us wisdom and discernment in all of the things that we say and the decisions that we make. God, we thank you for loving us. We thank you for Jesus and all these things we pray in his name.
Thank you, Russ. All right, minutes of the January 15th meeting. Y'all had time to go over them.
Yes, I move we adopt the minutes as written.
All right, have a motion.
Second.
Got a second. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion clears. Today's agenda.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Today there will be no need to consider an executive session for today, and under public comments we'll have Mr. Robert Abbott, Mike Rouse, and we need to add Mr. Alan Mumbauer to our public comments on the agenda. And other than that, that will pretty much set the agenda today.
All right. The public speaking is for 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Motion.
Motion. I'm sorry. We got one motion.
Second.
I have a second. All in favor say aye on the agenda.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. All right. Public comments. You have 5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
And the rule keeper over there, he's pretty strict on that.
My name's Robert Abbott, and I live in Florida, Mississippi. So I want to thank this commission and Mississippi Park Wildlife for the opportunity to speak about the senior hunts on the state WMAs. 4 years ago, this commission granted the senior hunters of Mississippi the opportunity to have specific hunts set aside on state WMAs. And although the state the draw hunts were already in place the first year, Mississippi Department of Wildlife were able to get us a hunt. A total of 125 hunters were drawn to hunt the Mahana Field Bryant Complex, which is comprised of over 30,000 acres. It was a 2-day hunt, around January 18th and 19th, and we were allowed to use weapons of choice. And although there are other state WMAs where senior hunts are available, my remarks specifically refer to the Mahana Field Bryant area. Recently, the number of hunters decreased from 125 to 50. We didn't understand why. We didn't believe it was a matter of safety calculations, right? That comes out to about 600 acres per person. And from the data from the Mississippi Wildlife website, it looks like the deer herds in pretty good shape. Mike and I met and discussed the situation with the Mississippi Park and Wildlife representative, and the conclusion from the conversation was that the number of hunters drawn is based on the percentage of applications. And I recently watched a Mississippi Outdoors program where CWD was the topic. And the biologist is there. Kind of lost my notes here. The biologist emphasized the most effective way to track CWD is a sample from a core area. So my thoughts are, it's a hunting public. It's utilized as a tool to help manage the deer population on state WMAs. And if safety is not a concern because of overpopulation of hunters, and if the deer herd's in good shape, and if checking for CWD in a core area is essential, then why are we using the percentage of applications to be the sole criteria for the number of hunters drawn? We appreciate the commission and the Mississippi Park and Wildlife and what they've done for the senior hunter, but we don't want to go back. Current limit of 50 hunters on 30,000 acres just seems low. Yes, according to the data, approximately 300 hunters apply for the senior hunts. And even if all 300 were drawn, that'd still be 100 acres per hunter. I'm 72 years old, been hunting since I was 10. Hope we got a few more years left. I've said this before, and it's more relevant now. We understand the concept of luck of the draw, but at our age, you might not have had that many years left. So saying maybe I'll get drawn next year is not the same as when you just said in his 80s as it is when you're 30. So I'm asking this commission to help increase our odds of being drawn by considering granting us an additional 2-day hunt somewhere in mid-December and up the number of hunters to 150 for both the December and the January hunt. This still works out to about 200 hunters per acres for hunt. And it seems to me if you want to increase the hunting participation, you would offer more opportunities to take them away. Once again, I want to express my gratitude to the Commission, Mississippi Park and Wildlife, for the effort on behalf of wildlife and the hunters in Mississippi. And this will also, good Lord willing, benefit every hunter down the road. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sure the staff will make considerations on that in the future and come back to us and tell us what's going on. But that's about all we can do right now, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Just take it under advisement.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Rouse.
I'm sort of the same way about this, reiterate what Robert said about the hunters. I think where I come from on it is what we wanted to do, and I know it's possible to do it, is add some more WMAs to the senior list. We've only got like 5, and there's about 5 more that I'd like to be added to it. You got that's not on the WMA list for the senior hunt, and sometimes we think that maybe we need to be like separate, but I know we get to put in on the regular draws too, but it is ultimately hard to get drawn. And the thing about it is I ain't got that many more years like Robert's talking about, and I see some of y'all probably on blood thinners too. But we need to add some of these WMAs. There's Twin Oaks, there's Charles Ray Nick, there's Riverfront, there's a couple more. I can't think exactly what they are. But these could be added to it. Give us a senior hunt on them, at a decent time of the year. That's one of the reasons this Mahana hunt's not going well, maybe with the application, because it's the last week of season. People done kill all the deer they wanted. Seniors definitely don't hunt, I talked to Mr. Lamar Simmons up at Trim Cane. I had a hunt up there. I actually got drawn for a hunt up there. I was the 3rd season of the hunt. There's been 3 seniors show up, and that's all. They only draw 4 per hunt up there. And what I want to suggest there is add another hunt to Trim Cane. There's plenty of room for it, but they only draw 4 people. I was the only one. The first year, nobody showed up, the seniors. And that's what I want to tell you, seniors. If y'all get drawn, go to these hunts, because that's what we up here for, to get more participation, on this deal. But there was, like I say, I was the only one to come on the second hunt, and there was 2 guys showed up this year. I called Mr. Simmons and asked him who showed up. He said 2 guys did, 1 killed a buck. I was the only one showed up on mine. I killed a buck. I mean, that's what it's all about, you know. They got an excellent place, but I know you can't double the amount of hunters per hunt because it's not set up that way up there. But some of these WMAs we can, you know. I mean, you've been drawing 20 people per hunt on Mahana for 20 years. There's nothing changed there, you know, on the draw. You draw 20 bow hunters, 20 primitive weapon hunters, and 20 gun hunters. We need to up that. I mean, I guarantee you, most of the seniors can't show up. If they're getting knee replacements like I had, or if they're getting shoulder replacement, or something's always going wrong. I mean, some of them might put in for a draw and never live to see it. I mean, that's just where we are with this stuff. But we would like to, you know, seeing, you know, that these public areas. The last gun hunt I had on my hand was in 2008. I mean, I'm not griping about it. I'm just telling you that's where we're at on it. I can't wait 20 more years to get another hunt. It's just not going to be there, you know. But we appreciate what y'all done already. Appreciate y'all implementing it, Russ. Appreciate y'all implementing the senior hunt, you know, and helping us out with some things like the e-bike. We can ride an e-bike or 2 on some of the places too. That helps us too. You know, we won't have to all hunt down side road because most of us can't walk 100 yards. But anyway, we would appreciate if we could get some attention to that. It's not a lot to ask. I don't think we're asking a lot, you know, to get some more done. I mean, even though we're implementing, and I know some things can be done. Like I say, I'd like to get the 2 hunts on 20 trim cane. I didn't think it was worth it, but it is. That's a fine place to go. But anyway, that's about all I got to say. I appreciate y'all paying attention to us and giving us the opportunity. Thank you, commissioners.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Russ.
All right. Adam? Alan.
Close.
How you doing? Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Executive Director Posey, and everybody here with Wildlife and Fisheries. It's good to be back. As a former biologist with the department, I've now taken a new role as the chairman of the Private Landowners Mississippi organization. It is a high fence enclosure owner organization that roughly represents between 80 and 100 high fence enclosures across the state of Mississippi. And today, I'd like to, kind of talk about the organization a little bit and what we're striving to do across the state of Mississippi and improve perception, improve communication, and improve relationships with the Department of Wildlife and with all the hunters of the state of Mississippi. Through some of that, we're actively trying to get some bills passed and make enforcement regulations a little bit more stricter on high fence enclosures, depending on how neglected they are treating their enclosures. So we're trying to work on some of those avenues and arenas. One interesting fact I had in a recent meeting was that 30% of high fence enclosures do not test or do not follow the CWD regulations. And we as the private landowner organization want to try to amend that internally and fix some of that to help the department out, help the law enforcement division out, to be able to better represent high fence enclosures and private landowners across the state. And in some of the research and information that I've looked up, Mississippi is right now currently the only state surrounding us, including Alabama, Tennessee, Louisiana, and Arkansas, that does not allow CWD transport, does not allow transport from enclosure to enclosure within the state of Mississippi. Alabama does allow from breeding pen to enclosure. They do not allow from enclosure to enclosure. So it has to go from a breeding pen to enclosure, which in the state of Mississippi, we only have roughly 22 enclosures that have breeding pens in the state. And so in looking at this, it would be a low number population that would be getting transport permits or even offering to ask for a transport permit. And so the ask today basically is to look at the transport permits individually as they come from enclosure to enclosure and see if it's a possibility to permit an enclosure to transport whitetail deer from one enclosure to another. Since the moratorium was put in place in 2018, no transport permits have been able or been allowed. I don't think any have even been requested of the Department of Wildlife since the moratorium was put in place. So I don't know if the moratorium would have to be lifted and then for it to be individually considered one by one, but that would be the ask, is that potentially being able to lift the moratorium and then transport whitetail deer for better management amongst high fence enclosures, not necessarily for the sale of animals, but for better management and hunting purposes and privileges within the state of Mississippi. So I want to thank again the Department of Wildlife and their consideration as they've looked at conversations with us, and we really want to hope for better communication down the road as we've kind of changed leadership around a little bit with the private landowners organization. We hope to allow and create better relationships with Russ and his team, with law enforcement and their team, so that we can create a better atmosphere, better perception for the public. So there's not a battle against the Department of Wildlife, and there's not a battle against the high fence enclosures, and that everybody can just kind of get along a little bit better. So that's what I'm here today to do, is to ask to potentially transport. And there should be a transport permit that has been sent up through the enclosure program. So I don't know where that currently sits, but that should be in front of you guys, or should be in front of wildlife in some capacity. So appreciate the time. Thank y'all for having me.
Alan, you're, just a quick question. So you're a biologist?
Yes, sir.
That's right. What'd you do with the department?
So
I remember, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I graduated Mississippi State 2006. Started with the department in 2007 as a regional biologist, working under Larry Castle and Ron Cease. And then I worked in the WMA program. I was a high fence enclosure program coordinator for a number of years, falconry program coordinator, worked on WMAs, and then transferred over to law enforcement division and started working with hunter ed youth recruitment, and did that for about another 4 years before I left the department.
So, you see both sides, I guess, sides of concerns about it from a biologist standpoint as well. So whatever the agency looks at it, there are ways to, I guess there's a bifurcation. You got high fence people that don't comply and those that do.
That's right. That's right.
So I'm sure to get something like this, people agree to it, you have to feel safe. That CWD is the big concern, like what some of the issues they had in Texas and other places, and moving positive animals from one facility to another one. So are there any ways or technologies that you have to do it now, but maybe you probably should present safety measures,
Yeah. And we've looked at different ways that different states have done transporting whitetail deer. A lot of them don't trust the CWD current live test with a 60 to 70% success rate. It's not exactly the best live test on the market. So if they take it from a CWD proven tested facility, that's what they've been using a lot of times. And we are actively trying to prevent the CWD spread. I mean, we don't want to spread it just as much as anyone, and so we want to be careful about that. But we do want to be fair and equitable to the landowners that have put up these fences and want to try to grow their deer herds and make them better and make them genetically, as best as they can, so they don't get stagnant. And some of them that have trapped the whitetail deer in their facilities when they put up the fence, may not have the best genetics, and they want to be able to potentially grow that and create a better atmosphere for that. So we're all for methods and testing for enclosures for the transports. We just want something better than what potentially is out there right now for the live test. The live test is good. It's just not best. It doesn't have all the status with it to carry on the best record for it. So,
Okay, well, nice.
all right. Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, let's see, that ends the public comments. Mr. Posey, you're gonna give us the license sales report?
I'm gonna try to stand in for one of our very dedicated employees, Jason Thompson, who's out with his son who got sick earlier in the week. So if you would, keep Jason and his family in your prayers. And I won't be able to do as good a job as Jason does, but I'm gonna try to hit the high points here. I think basically what I need you to know here today on the license sales is that our license sales as a total are down about 2.36%, which is not a huge amount of money, and we're tracking them very carefully. We're not too concerned about the loss that we have right now. We hopefully make that up as time goes on. And the charts are all in your book if you want to look at them or have any questions later on. But I thought one thing I did want to point out to you is that as of probably yesterday's date, we sold 2,737 new turkey stamps. So we're looking forward to trying to keep that going with turkey season coming on. We think we'll sell a number of those. And as you know, all of that money comes in will be spent on improving turkey habitat and research. So that was all I was going to say about that today. But if you got any questions, as you see in the book, well, I'll be happy to try to answer any of them. If not, that would complete Jason's normal report for today.
All right, any questions? Thank you. Park, Ryan Ferguson.
Morning, gentlemen. Just a quick update. First, I want to start with how the ice storm kind of affected the state park system. Really had about 9 parks that affected statewide. We don't really have a financial assessment yet, so we should have one of those by the end of the month. Kind of our approach to this was that we are a recreational facility, so without trying to compete with resources for schools and hospitals and all the really, really important facilities around the state, that we would take a step back and just kind of wait some of this improvements out. We have taken down most of the safety issues at the parks, and we still have 4 parks that are still closed: Cossler, John Kyle, JP, and Waldottsy, mostly for power issues and water issues. So power still off at a couple of them, and then we have, of course, some water leaks at some that we're trying to fix. We won't open them until they are safe. 5 of them have opened and are operating. We have canceled a total of 250 bookings so far, roughly about $150,000 in total bookings statewide. So we're looking forward to getting those back open in the near future, but we'll send out press releases and we won't do it until it's actually safe for those parks to open. Just on the openings for Percy Quinn and Clarko, hopefully today we get both of those parks released for cabins to be open at Percy Quinn, and the campground at Clarko should be finished today. They're doing a walkthrough today, Andre and his staff, and they should be open by the end of this month. So we expect to have grand openings for both of those parks in the March timeframe. So we'll get dates out to you guys soon for that. On the financials for visitation and occupancy, so far, just going through, we're about halfway through the year, a little over halfway through the year. We've had over 400,000 visitors and over 100,000 bookings. We generated nearly $6 million so far in revenue. We're looking forward to if the numbers continue the way that we expect, we're looking forward to a really, really good spring, particularly with opening Clarko's campground and having Paul B. Johnson fully open for the first time in both of those parks for the first time in 2 years. So far, Local Floors is still the highest occupancy park so far, and we have about nearly $2.7 million in camping revenue and roughly $1 million total in cabin revenue for the year. Of course, campsites still are the kind of the foundation of our revenue generating, and most people come to that. So as we build on to those and renovate those, we know those are the facilities that are, or those are the locations that people go to most. So we're looking forward to this year renovating new spaces at JP Coleman hotels, at Percy Quinn, and also hopefully starting, if we get a capital funds this year, we should be renovating either Walddoxie or JP Coleman campground this year. So Lake Lincoln also. So we're looking forward to doing some of that work as the year progresses. Any questions?
Boy, they are, really been some changes made the last few years. And, I know y'all done a great job of putting that together, because it takes some planning and everything to do it, and some funding from the legislature. We want to emphasize how much we appreciate the legislature working with us on the parks.
Agreed.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
All right, law enforcement. Colonel Carter?
Sir. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, good morning. Law enforcement makes its report. We'll start first with our license and compliance checks. For the month of January 2026, there were a total of number of citations written. Top 5 being as follows: no hunting license at 169. Number 2, violation of WMA regulations at 153. Number 3 is hunting from public road at 115 citations written. Number 4 was unlawful possession at 82. And number 5 was trespassing at a total count of 78. On our next page, this is in Greene County. Officer Harvinson and Officer Robbins removed a pet alligator from a violator's home. These officers received a information tip from a informant that advised them that this subject had this alligator as a pet in his house. Alligator named Ralph, so he's had him in his house for a while, and the officers safely removed it, and the individual was charged with possession of the alligator.
His name was what?
Ralph.
Okay.
On our next page, this is our officers assisted with the storm damage in Alcorn County, not only in Alcorn, but all parts of the state in the north area that was affected. Our SRT officers were deployed at the request of through MEMA. Officers formed the ESF 13 function, which is security outside of their primary duty of search and rescue, where they did security at a lot of the storm shelters. They did an outstanding job. No incidents, no major incidents occurred. Just a few health issues that happened where some of our officers performed some life-saving medical attention that was needed, and got those individuals to facilities where they were needed. So they all did a great job. We got a lot of calls from some of the nursing, some of the EM coordinators, emergency coordinators in those counties on a fine job that our officers did while they were there. On the next page, this is Officer Starling along with K9 Charlie. This was a deer that was unlawfully harvested in Monroe County. Officers received a call from trespassing on these subjects. The officers engaged and encountered the individuals, noticed that the subjects had a lot of hair and blood up on them. They claimed it was rabbit hunting, but the hair that was on them were deer hair. And the officers questioned the young men about the hair, and they said, well, it was just hunting rabbits. We initiated the call up the K9, and Charlie went and did what he does best, went and trailed, found a blood trail, and found the deer where you see on the pictures there, and we charged the young men for their acts. On the next page, this is K9 Dempsey at Twin Oaks WMA, located 2 unlawful hunters doing the archery hunt. On our next page, you see these 4 distinguished gentlemen. This is at the NWTF convention 2025 Turkey Officer of the Year banquet. That's our Turkey Officer of the Year for our state, Officer Corporal Bush. Although he didn't win the overall trophy, but Mississippi represented, and we were very proud of his accomplishments for him being there to represent our state. Illinois, I think, won the overall award. This is Officer Wood attending a career day presentation at Lee County School in Scott County. This is also part of what we do in education, public outreach, presenting ourselves at career fairs and job fairs, and even coming to the schools, talking to what you see there. I like to say our future sportsmen and conservationists to be. On the next page is in Greene County. This is Officer Brownsville and Officer Halverson. They caught these 3 violators with illegal ducks, deer, and also an alligator. And none of these individuals had licenses. So good case that these guys did. Again, this information was gathered from a call from a sportsman that reported this violation, and our officer engaged and made the arrest, and citations were issued. Next page. This is at the Buttahatchee River in Lowndes County. Officer Warden McDonald, Travis McDonald, along with one of the fire rescue individuals, helped got out 3 residents that was trapped due to flood waters there in the county. I think this was during the rainy season this year, and they was able to get the individuals out safely. So good job that they did as well. On my final page here is our shooting range customer counts report. McIver had 299 customers. Turcotte had 478, and McHenry had 700 customers. And that is my report for law enforcement.
Colonel, good report.
Thank you, sir.
Good group of men you got. Fortunately, I got to spend 16 years in law enforcement.
Yes, sir.
These guys here, they never know what's going to be on the table to do today.
It
It's
changes.
unbelievable. It goes from one thing to saving lives to getting alligators named Ralph.
Ralph.
They do a tremendous job.
Thank you, sir.
I really am proud of them.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good group of men and women that we have, and also just want to make an announcement. We are hiring, so
Yeah.
yes, sir. So it is out there. We're looking at trying to get at least 20, 25 cadets. Hopefully, in the upcoming class. So the application is open. So we hope we get a lot of good applicants to apply. We're looking forward to it.
Colonel, would
Yes,
it be possible when you do your shooting range reports that we could reference last year's, that same month, to see if we're gaining customers or
Yes, sir.
losing or anything?
Yes, sir.
Could we
Definitely do
could we
that.
look at that?
Yes, sir. We can make
Great.
it happen. Yes, sir. Definitely.
I'm sure we're doing really well. So
It fluctuates. You're supposed to,
I'm sure
especially when
it
the hunting
does,
season is approaching, the counts go up and all the above, and then some where I think at McIver, but then the school there, the participation picks up real good with the students.
yeah,
Up north.
name of the game is
We get
customer
the-
satisfaction and getting the
Yes, sir.
customers up. So that's what we want to do.
You got it. Yes, sir. We'll get it to you.
Thank
sir.
you.
Not a problem.
Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Wildlife, Amy Blaylock.
Good morning. All right, I appreciate the opportunity to recognize our Wildlife Bureau staff. We do this once a year. Our staff makes those recommendations to us. It may be somebody they supervise, it may be their supervisor or their peer. So they make those recommendations to us, and then we choose those from there. Russ says, if you've been here for this before, he says that he would put our staff up against anybody, and that's truly the truth. We have a great staff and very lucky to have them. The first one we're going to recognize is Will Thompson. If you've been to Cane Mount WMA, you probably have seen Will. He's been with the agency since 2013, and one of the guys said about him was that he's going to go above and beyond to make the public feel welcome on Cane Mount. came out, always looks great. We never have complaints about anything that came out. So we appreciate you. And thank you.
All right.
All right, that was for the WMA Conservation of the Year. I don't think we mentioned that. But the next one is the Wildlife Conservation of the Year, and that's gonna be William McKinley. He's worked with the agency since 2001, pretty much always been in the deer program. Since then, he's now our deer program coordinator. From my first dealings in wildlife when I was in grad school, William's been there. So William's been with me since the very beginning. He's the one that actually drove and picked me up on my first day of work. Most of what I know about deer is from William. And I'm very thankful to have William here. And he's not only a leader in the state, he's a leader nationwide. And he's a natural teacher. He can go to a kindergarten class and tell you about deer biology, but then he can also talk to the most known researchers in the country. Since 2018, he's kind of had to jump into the CWD world, and he's one of the go-to people, not only in the Southeast, but within the United States. So I'm very thankful for William, and I hope he stays around a little bit longer. Thank you.
William, did I hear right that you started in 2001?
Yes, sir.
Wow, didn't time pass?
It has.
I remember the first time I met you. You realize that's 24 years ago?
I do.
He's one of the old ones now.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. You've been a great guy and a great friend helping me through here.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, and this is the first year we've done this one. We were gonna call it the Director's Award. Most of you know that we've transitioned to the new pay it system throughout the past year. And within the Wildlife Bureau, we don't sell a license, but we've had a lot of things that have transitioned to pay it. Our draw hunt system, game check, our special permits. I could not have made it this last year without Nathan Blunt. And this is the first year we've done this, so it's called the Director's Award. But he is our FedEx coordinator and then also does special projects like the pay it system. And he knows the system inside and out, probably as well or better than anybody here, and has done a great job. And I'm personally thankful for him because I couldn't have done it without him. Thank you.
Okay. Other business?
We didn't have anything under other business today, Mr. Chairman, but then the next item would be to talk about a commission meeting, and you and I had visited a little earlier, and if it's no objection or nobody has any conflict there, Wednesday, March the 25th would be the date for our next meeting, and it would also be here at the Jackson location.
Y'all good with that?
I'm out of town then, but I can join, I guess, by phone. I'm gonna be in Texas. That's okay.
All right, Drew,
I'm good with it.
I heard from Todd, wasn't it, Todd?
I think it was Todd.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay,
All
all right. I guess we finished up.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Aye.